Let's have a conversation.
What's up, y'all? I'm here a little early. This is honestly going to be a shorter one because not feeling so great tonight. And also, I somehow have to grind out these last 2 days of work because it's important to make it through my first work week at my new job. So we are on the challenge, season 39, episode 17. Previously on the challenge beast, Nerys, was eliminating two guys who were favored to win the entire season, which was Kyland and Horacio, in a surprising change of events because they ended up the last three. Olivia didn't save Nerys. That was the talk of the town. Matter of fact, I said before I jumped on here, I was going to check and see if Nerys was live on Instagram like she was last week because it was very dramatic. It doesn't look like she's live, but it's still early. Anyways, so she came back. Olivia was like, I'm so happy that she came back in the confessional. I mean, Jay was like, oh my God, you're back. I'm so happy that you're back. I told you you'd come back. So after kind of half-heartedly hugging everybody, she was like, by the way, F all of you. Every single one of you. She was like, I don't trust anybody here to have my back. So we wondered all week, was Nerys going to raise hell in the house? Was Nerys going to play nice because she's so close to the finals and try to make nice with whoever's left? So let's see what happens. So what ends up happening is Olivia, the first part of it was about Olivia and Nerys, basically. Olivia was like, it was a last minute decision. You know, I did what I had to do, but I don't think I should have done that. She's feeling regretful. I think part of it was her feeling regretful, but I think part of it was just like, man, she came back. She came back, and that's going to be, I don't want her to have a vendetta against me. And we're seeing that a vendetta, Nerys having a vendetta is not a good thing for you. So they had a conversation, and in a somewhat surprising turn of events, Nerys says, I believe I want to run a final with all girls. I want this all girls final. So even though I don't trust any of the remaining women on the show, I still would rather run with the women than the men because the men don't deserve it. So at least on the show, she made up with Olivia. She said, I still love you. She was mad at first, but she was like, I still love you. We're going to work together, blah, blah, blah. But it all depends, as usual, on who gets the power in this daily elimination. So we do the daily elimination, and we're seeing who gets the power here because that's going to be the balance shift of everything. But before we get to who won, I'm going to talk about who lost really quick because we're back in this purge thing because we were all wondering, like, this season seems to be really long and there's still so many people. But the last few episodes has been this, if you finish last place, you go home thing going on. So it was really dramatic. But the person who ended up going home by finishing last place on the daily elimination was Michelle. Jay was really upset about that. He's like, this is my ride or die. We've been riding with each other from day one. Everybody at least there looked sad about it, except Nerys. But everybody else seemed really sad about Michelle going home, especially Jay. So now we're on who won first place in the daily. So the person who won first place and had the power to shift the balance was Berna. And a lot of people did not want to see Berna win because the people that Berna is aligned with, she has her own crew that she formed, which is different from Jay's crew, which is different from whoever, Olivia's group. Berna has her own ideas. Berna feels like, I want to play this game based on loyalty and fairness. So it is what it is. So everybody was having conversations. Colleen, in an attempt to save herself, was basically telling Jay, well, not in an attempt to save herself, but she didn't want Jay to save Nerys. So she told Jay about a conversation that she and Nerys had and said that Jay was on the chopping block for Nerys. So then Nerys comes, Jay comes and talks to Nerys about it. And she was like, yeah, I considered putting you up at one point. And he was like, I sent home all your friends, but I didn't send you home. So I was always loyal to you. That argument is kind of weird to me. Like, I sent home all your friends, but I didn't send you home. And quite honestly, she's only there because she wanted to stay there at this point. But anyways, we'll get to that. So they have this big blow up, and and then Nerys tells Jay, we're not friends. He's like, fine, we're not friends, and I'm throwing you in. We're not friends, and I'm throwing you in. And she's like, throw me in that. So then Nerys goes back to Colleen, and she was like, the only reason Jay's name even came up in the first place was because this was your plan. They showed a flashback that showed that it did actually start with Colleen. Either that or it's just, I don't know, entertaining editing. But the way they made it look in the edit was that Nerys was telling the truth. So here goes Olivia defending Nerys during this argument. It's like, Nerys has been with you this whole time. Why are you listening to Colleen? Blah, blah, blah. And I guess Olivia was trying to get back in Nerys's good graces, or maybe stay in her good graces after not saving her the previous time. But yeah, Jay made it clear, if I get the choice, I am sending you in and you're going home. So, of course, in very dramatic fashion, Corey makes this deal with Berna that if you save me first, I will pick Colleen. So that's how it happened. I don't remember the exact order, but I know Corey was first. Colleen was next. I just remember that it got down to 4, and there was Mariah, there was Jay, there was Nerys, and there was Olivia. So they set this whole episode up for this. Like, for Jay, oh, I would have chosen Nerys. He made this big speech about it. He's like, the people that I have been working with have not been working with me. The people I came in this game with, things change in the game, and therefore I have to save the person who has been true to me because we formed this alliance and whatever the case may be. And then he saves Mariah, which I was pretty surprised about. But I guess when I think about those options, he wasn't going to save Olivia. He's not working with James, so I guess it makes sense, but just not the way that he made the speech. 4 months. Thank you for being a 4-month member, Ma. So TJ, I liked when TJ was like, really, Jay? Like, you were in tears. You were in tears last week over Nerys going in. You were crying. And Nerys was like, fake tears. You're fake. You're fake. And I believe this argument probably went on for a while. And they chopped it up, because I've heard these arguments that they have on the challenge go on for a long time. And they cut them up and they edit them. So we got the Giant Slayer, Nerese, against Olivia and James in this elimination mission. And it's the same format that they've been doing during this part of the season, where they have 3 different obstacles and they have to pick which one they do first. They do one obstacle, they complete a puzzle, they get the flag, and the first person to finish all 3 puzzles and put all their 3 flags in the peg wins the elimination. So she's in a little bit of an advantage because she's done it once before. So as we saw with Kylan and Horacio and her taking them out last week, it's not about how fast or how strong you are. It's about how well you do these puzzles. And she is apparently extremely good at puzzles. So James finished his first puzzle first. Nerese seemed to finish shortly after her, shortly after him. I think Olivia didn't finish any of her puzzles. So it was basically kind of between James and Nerese. James was on his second puzzle. Nerese finished her second puzzle while James was working on his second puzzle. And she finished her third puzzle while he was still working on that second puzzle. And that puzzle was the one that she finished first. Olivia said she finished it in 6 minutes. So Giant Slayer Nerese has now taken out Kylan, Horacio, James, and Olivia. And it was a smart thing when they said, oh, what was the elimination? And she said, I'm not telling nothing to nobody. It kind of reminded me of Wes and Casey on Fresh Meat when they had that elimination, when they kept getting sent into the elimination and sending people home and nobody else knew what it looked like for a while. And they're like, wow, I guess Casey and Wes are just the biggest beasts. Not quite like that. I think it might even be a little more impressive than that because she actually solved the puzzles. If y'all remember the Fresh Meat thing, they had a choice to either solve the puzzle or like carry a bag of weight with them. And they just decided to carry the bags and skip the puzzle in each of those. So Nerese the Giant Slayer, that's what TJ called her. He's like, wow, you are the Giant Slayer. You took out 4 names, big names in this game. And she was like, yes, I did. And she was like, last time I felt really sad, but this is the happiest that I have felt thus far this season. So she is excited to go back into the house because so many people wanted her out. She pranced into the house. She was like, it's just me. It's just me. There's nobody else. I took them out. And people were not liking that. But you know what? Honestly, she took that same energy that Kylan and Horacio had, and I don't blame them for it. Because we're seeing something that was happening on the older challenges repeat itself, where there's one big group and they're gang. And they all work together, they all vote together. And then if you decide not to vote with them, you're on the outside. But even if you do work with them, you're helping to do their bidding because you're at the bottom of their alliance anyways. So it's like damned if you do and damned if you don't. So therefore, she came back into the house. People were saying her celebration was too much. I don't agree. I'd be celebrating the same way. Like, hey, y'all tried to get me out twice. And I'm still here and I took out everybody. I took out 4 people in 2 weeks or 2 episodes. I don't know how much that spanned. Cue the ending of the episode where they were all in the club again. And then the walk-in by TJ. I hope not to tell them your final starts now. I hope he's just telling them all of you are in the final. Because imagine they're in the club drinking and then they start a final. That would suck. Because those finals are crazy hard. But it was a really good episode. Unlike last week, I was happy with the outcome. Nerese brings the energy. Nerese brings the drama. Nerese brings the feistiness. I mean, I hope she wins. I don't think she's made a final, but she has proven that she is a good competitor that can take people out, and she's excellent at puzzles, which are always a big part of every final. So I'm hoping that next week continues to be entertaining. A lot of people said that they don't like this season. I love the season. I love the season. It's entertaining. It's dramatic. I don't want Jay to win. That's one person that I definitely don't want to see win. And that's about it. I actually was a little sad to see Michelle go, to be honest, too. A lot of people are like, I don't like Jay and Michelle this and Jay and Michelle that. I think that Michelle is friends with Jay, but that doesn't mean that Michelle agreed with every decision Jay made. It's just that she wasn't explicitly going to go against him. Well, how many eliminations has Jay been in? What kind of work has he really done to stay in this game? I think he won a couple of dailies, but aside from that, everybody saved him. The only time that Jay was even at risk of going into an elim was when CT came and CT was considering him. So I don't like seeing people win that haven't put in any work to win. That's the reason why I don't want to see him win the season. I don't like coasting seasons. Yeah, it's upsetting to me too. I mean, upsetting to a degree. I mean, for me, I clearly, this is just entertainment for me. I don't win any money no matter who wins. So it's not that big of a deal, but I would prefer somebody to win and stick it to him in the end, where he was like, I played a perfect season, and then somebody just snatches it from him. I'm a West fan, and I saw Johnny Bananas do that to him, and it was gut-wrenching. So that's the ultimate revenge, is to just beat somebody. Once you get to a final, the politics don't really matter. I guess they matter a little bit, but they don't matter as much unless there's twists thrown in there. It's just, let's see who can survive this series of tests, do the swimming or whatever it is, kayaking, who can complete the puzzles the best and the fastest, and who has the most endurance. And that's it. I love finals. I love finals days. But actually, this season, I won't lie, I'm looking more forward to the reunion special than I am to the finals, because if y'all have been keeping up with Twitter and Instagram, which I usually don't, but I kind of have this season, it's getting hot. It's getting hot in there. Yeah, exactly. And this is the thing. I never hated Wes, but I understood why people would hate Wes. That's the whole thing. I knew a lot of people who did not like Wes, including my friends who used to watch the show. They're like, I don't like that guy. And I'm like, I do. And I think the reason I liked him was the same reason that I have liked someone like Kyland, or the same reason that I like Nerese this season, because I like people who go against the grain and don't follow the protocol that they're supposed to follow. Because sometimes people come into the game and they're like, I make the rules here. And that's what Jay did this season. He's like, I'm here at the top, and if you don't do what I say, there's going to be consequences. So because of that, many people worked with him, even though they were on the bottom rung of his alliance. But it's just that all these people that were willing to save him were the people who kept winning the dailies. He won some timely dailies himself. I have to give him credit for that. But yeah, that's where I stand with it. And that's my recap. And thank you all for tuning in. If you have not done so already, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. to get notified of when I drop some more great content. Thank you, and I will see you. I don't know if I'll see you tomorrow, but I will definitely see you Friday when I recap the traders. All right, have a good night.